I'm gonna pull up the chat on my laptop. I'm actually gonna edit my title as well. I forgot to throw Diablo 4 in the title. Testing and making a leveling build for Season 8 Diablo 4. What did I do with my phone? Oh, I blended in with my table. Does it really matter how my character looks? This is just for testing purposes. I'm gonna start on normal. I think that's what I'm gonna start with when I go to level next season. Okay, because I'm testing, I don't need to use any of the witch powers. And I don't need to use the zone either. Yep. Kind of get as close as I can. And this leveling build's going to end up being better as well, because I'll end up getting the boss powers. I think the best leveling build would be level with Quill Volley, but I really want to make something with Crushing Hand. I think if I do that though, see, Quill Volley has a way to make things vulnerable, so I need a basic that makes things vulnerable. That's what I think I need to do. If not, I would use Thrash. Thrash is a really good skill early on. If I use Thunder Spike, I could use the Eagle Spirit Hall. Good to see you streaming again. Are you excited for Tuesday? Yes, I am very excited for Tuesday. Hope you're doing good, Faith. When you evade, you attack with Thunder Spike along the way, making enemies vulnerable for 3 seconds. There we go. That's my vulnerable right there. And it will work out pretty good. Wait, can I make stuff vulnerable with this? No. Yep, Thunderspike is the way to go then. I don't really stack Resolve while leveling. So I think just that crowd control of knocking things down would be the way to go for leveling. And then I unlock the next node right here. Definitely pick up one to that. This is mobility and gives me vulnerable. What, does this not give me unstoppable? Okay, yeah, this will give me unstoppable. I definitely want that then. And I made a max roll account and I have a planner pulled up and I'm going to make a planner. The only thing, I have to put it under the PTR thing. They don't have a thing to put it under Season 8 build yet, so it's going under PTR. Alright, so Thunderspike, Vulnerable, Crushing Hand, the knockdown from Crushing Hand. So I have 4 points left. The next hit against enemies struck by Soar is a guaranteed critical strike. If Soar hits no enemies, you gain 50% movement speed. Yeah, definitely that. I want the unstoppable from that. Now, I don't know if I want, like, I know this won't dash baseline, but does quickly jab forward with a piercing strike. See, this is where I need to test this to see. The only thing, I'm streaming from my PS5 and I have my planner pulled up on my laptop, so I can't show you guys the planner. But I will work on a leveling planner and I have to put it in the PTR thing, and I will post it to max roll when it is put together. I'm guessing the best way to level next season will be Helltides. I'm not even going to pick up the mercenaries yet because my mercenaries are full leveled and you have to re-level them, so I'm going to wait a little bit on that too to try to make it more, maybe like level 30 or so, go pick up my mercenaries because you should have your things leveled by then. No boss powers. The only thing that's going to be not quite as authentic is the aspects I have are already like all leveled up from my Spiritborns this past season. But I'll wait a bit to throw on an aspect. I haven't played Diablo in a minute. I miss playing Diablo. I noticed there's a weird bug too. I was looking at my characters, like the eyebrows have disappeared. And like whenever you go to make your character, like half of like the beards and stuff you can put on your character, like the eyebrows aren't there. So hopefully they hotfix that by Tuesday. I don't want a character with no eyebrows. That's weird. Let's see. Let the legacy of the 10 Spiritborns begin. No, I'm not doing that this time. I'm using build loadouts. Okay, last time around I tried to make my bonds close to PoE, but I think never say never. That is true. But I'm gonna make myself not make a lot of Spiritborn. I'm using the build loadout. I want to try the evade build, so that will probably be my next loadout. And I know Quill Volley's probably going to be the best build. So probably 3. But like, I was talking to this other streamer in his stream yesterday, whenever I was asking like, kind of like questions about Spiritborn and stuff, because he makes builds. He was saying the devs did say, like, where they're not doing mid-season like buffs and nerfs, that if something is completely overperforming within the first week of the season, they're probably going to nerf it within the first week or 2 of the season. And then after that, they're not touching anything. So I am kind of wondering if the Ashava poison power is going to get nerfed, because they did triple it in damage. And on the PTR, Spiritborn was already hitting for trillions, like with any core skill. So like, it might get nerfed, but I start Crushing Hand, and if we get nerfed, I go evade. That's kind of my plan. And if it don't get nerfed, then Crushing Hand should slap. Alright, so yeah, I like these bonds. Putting my basic and core skill on my L2, R2. Alright, I need to test this basic real quick. I guess I could just test it on... I'll just test it out in the Hilltop. Let's see if it dashes, because that will decide what I do with this Ravager node, whatever it's called. I don't think it dashes. I don't think it dashes. Alright, so that means... Wait 1 second. And just a warning, chat, I do have a house full of people, so there may be background noise. Gotta use too many bonds. I just love Crushing Hand. That's like my favorite build. Mophosaurus, kind of like how you really like Shred. Like, Crushing Hand is my Shred. I think there's a way to make it really good. Well, here's my tip for the start of the season. Unlock world boss powers and slap around and run world bosses. And the good thing, the one I need for my Crushing Hand build is the Ashava power. So I can get my build online really early. I just have to wait for an Ashava boss. That's also why I kind of opted to do the Poison Crushing Hand before the Evade. Because I'm going to have to kill Duriel to get the Duriel power, where this Crushing Hand, I think it's going to be stronger than Evade, and all I got to do is kill Ashava. Okay, so this doesn't dash, so I need... That would be nice if I had a built-in dash. A little bit more damage while leveling, but while Ravager is active, your core skills instantly dash to your target, and your resource regeneration is increased by 30%. If you go Poison Shred, you will be pushing Ashava as well. Nice. You know, Poison Shred might be good for leveling, because then you can go into Rabies and stuff, and Rabies is like a great leveling skill. And I don't know I don't remember much about Druid, but like the reason the Ashava power is going to be so good is this key passive right here. Your critical strikes cause your poison on an enemy to burst, dealing 100% of the total poison instantly and 20% to surrounding enemies, removing the poison effect from the primary target. And the damage is increased by 30% of your critical strike bonus. So you can stack crit damage, and it's pretty much like uncapped. Like you can stack as much as humanly possible and really make the Ashava power go crazy. That is my plan. And there's like things like right here where you can increase your poison. There's a unique ring that gives you ranks to this as well. I think I might grab it if I'm doing a poison build. And then eventually when I do like my glyphs and stuff, like go to like, what was it, like Bane and Uncanny and stuff. Oh yeah, get all my bonuses. I think it just gives me gold because I already have the other bonuses. Alright, let's see. Yours is better because you can crit and overpower with your poison damage and with the Kepaleke, it sounds like. I'm not running the crit overpower thing. I think it's just going to be better to run like a normal quarterstaff and a normal amulet, because then you can get redirected force on your quarterstaff, and that would give you a lot more critical strike damage. And then when they buff the unyielding hits where you can scale your damage off your armor, I'm putting that on my amulet. So that will make that better as well. And then I can get like ranks either to potent or nourishment. I'll have to test that and see what ends up being better. I know potent would just be like great. Oh, key passive. I was like, oh. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not running the crit overpower thing. If you go regular shred, you need the Lilith power. I was also thinking, like with crushing, the gorilla skills are physical. Like the Lilith power would be good for crushing hand. Okay, for leveling, this would give me unstoppable, block chance, resolve. I think for leveling, counterattack will be better just because you get the passive 6, the 30% multiplicative. So yeah, counterattack goes there. I don't know what I'm doing for an ultimate yet. Or I mean, I know in in-game, the Hunter, like the Jaguar ultimate it's been the best since the game, or since Spiritborn came out, and it's still the best. So this is like, I may just do this while leveling as well. I know for some leveling builds I've done, I've used the Seeker. I don't really like, even I'm doing a poison build, I don't really like the way this works. Because when you 5 out of 5 it scales off of your healing received. And it doesn't really scale your actual poison damage. It just gives you another way of applying a poison. I mean, it's a pretty good poison, but I don't know. This right here, where is it? This gives you 100% multiplicative damage to injured. And it will, I think you 5 out of 5. It executes enemies when you 5 out of 5 it. And I think it gives you instantly full stacks of ferocity, which is like a damage buff. So yeah. You can scale this off critical strike damage if you 5 out of 5 it. crushing hand. Oh. It's been so long since I played Diablo. I'm used to PoE at this point. Yeah, the built-in dash is pretty nice. And while leveling, I think in endgame I'm going to use the quarterstaff for block chance. But whenever you level, you just want the highest DPS weapon. My fiance sneezed. Bless you. Yeah, Quill Volley would just be a lot better. But I'm so tired of playing Quill Volley. And I do like Quill Volley build. I think I've played more Quill Volley than any other build in Spiritborn. Just because it's always been the best since this came out. I'm kind of over it. Didn't even hear it, but bless you, Harrison's fiance. No, I'm testing leveling. I might test out the domain tunnels. I mean, it's probably not as good as Helltide, but I just want to test it to see. And I remember most of the XP from Helltides is when you actually open the chest. Yeah, it sucked. I made like a pretty much a rough draft of a guide, and I spent over 2 hours on it. Then I realized I forgot my old Maxroll account, and I wasn't signed in, and you have to sign in to save build, so I pretty much lost that. So I'll probably have to go through and make it again. But I'm just working on leveling them for now. I know the in-game one's going to change when I play, and I kind of see what other people do, and but I think I cooked though. Like I probably made Crushing Hand about as good as you can make it. Okay, I'm not making stuff vulnerable here. Like this is the whole reason I chose this. I got my leveling guide in my head, not on paper. And I think the main reason I'm doing this, I might end up making like a video on it or something. Like a video like on a leveling guide and then like an in-game one. And then try different builds and like, I'm just going to try to make my own and like, things will change a lot too. As leveling is slowed down and the difficulty is going up and boss powers. But getting added down is good. And I did see, they actually, whenever they did a lot of the balance stuff, they sped the leveling back up. So the leveling shouldn't feel much different. And they actually kind of gave in to the casual player, and they kind of walked back the difficulty a little bit, and they scaled down the difficulty of Pit and scaled down the difficulty of getting to Torment 4. It should be harder than last season, but it's way closer than last season than it was on PTR. So the game should not feel as hard as PTR. Yeah, I'm not making anything vulnerable here. Like, I'm about to read that node and see. Do I evade through them? Like, oh yeah, you gotta evade through them. Yep, I remember. There we go. That's the whole reason I chose the this basic, so I could have vulnerable. Otherwise, I would have chose the Jaguar basic. So I'm just going to evade through things a lot. But also while leveling, I'm going to get the primary Eagle Haul. Whenever you evade, it spits out the Storm Feathers, kind of like on the evade build. Like, that's always been really good for leveling. Gives you a lot of extra damage early, like free power. I don't like soar on a controller, auto targets. Like, if you're on keyboard and mouse, you can aim it like and soar to the next screen over, but this gives me good flat movement speed, gives me unstoppable, a little bit more vulnerable. Alright, so the next skills I'm going to pick up is my ultimate. Oh, that is one thing you will be excited about at least. Wait, what's that? I think the season after this one, mouse and keyboard on console. Yeah, I did see that. I'd probably try it. I have a really good keyboard that's hooked up to my laptop. I don't know. I kind of just prefer playing on controller on most games. That's for sure is World of Warcraft, because you literally have like 3 rows of buttons, like almost 30 key binds, so you almost have to play keyboard and mouse unless you just do some really weird binds on a controller. Because there are add-ons for WoW you can play it on controller, but I did not like them. I'm hoping D4 launches on Switch too. I feel like it should. As well as PoE too. Like, that'd be very strange if it didn't. If you're getting a Switch too, one game you should get is the new FromSoft game that's a Switch exclusive called Dustbloods. Like, it looks like it's a different IP than Bloodborne, but it pretty much looks like Bloodborne too. Bloodborne was an amazing game. One of the best Souls-like games ever made, in my opinion. That's what I heard. You know, I'm a PlayStation guy. I've always played PlayStation, but I find it funny. Like when Bloodborne came out, like it's a PlayStation exclusive. Like a lot of PlayStation people were like, well, buy a PlayStation. You'll play Bloodborne if you buy a PlayStation. And now that Dustbloods is a Switch exclusive, they're like, that's not fair. It should be ported to all consoles. It was like, you should have kept that same energy when it came to Bloodborne. I don't really like exclusives for any consoles. I kind of wish this almost all games be on all consoles. Sony messed up. And, you know, Bloodborne was one of the most popular Souls games. Like, I feel like they could have, like, Sony could have made so much more money if they just let Xbox and PC have it as well. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to remember to evade through everything. They would have for sure. I still need to play Oblivion. That game is just so confusing. It's not hard. It's one of those games where like you kind of it's like an older game. You're like forced to explore more, and like knowing where stuff is like really makes it better. And I've never played Oblivion. I'm probably just gonna wait and come back to Oblivion like whenever more information and videos have been pushed out on it, so I can just learn that way. Because I think when I streamed Oblivion yesterday, I was just wondering. I was like, I don't know. And I was trying to do that monk, like the hand-to-hand, and I could not find any fist wraps. I was kind of forced into like just picking up a bow. And I mean, I wanted to use a bow, but it was more as like my secondary weapon, and mainly use the hand-to-hand. Oblivion was great though. It is great. I think I just need to keep putting ranks into Crushing Hand. That's like where most of my damage is going to come from while leveling. How much is it to open one of these chests? I forgot. Is it 75? Or no? There's no way it was 75. Or maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. It's vulnerable. I gotta start using my cooldowns more. I haven't played Diablo in like a month. 75? Nice. That's why I can't open one. Even last season, I didn't really do Helltides. I mainly did the Headhunt zone. And this isn't like speed practice. Equip pet noob. Got him. Give me them. Haha, sorry. No, it was funny. Oh yeah, like where they give us the bird this season. Next season, the pet they're giving us is like a cat. And it looks kind of like Belial, I think. And I'm purposely not equipping my my mercenary yet, because my mercenary is fully leveled, and I'm trying to wait until like level 30, like while testing right here, to grab it, because that way by level 30 you should have a fully leveled up mercenary. So like it will be more close to I am going to get the cat. Yeah. It has all the eyeballs on it. Alright, so I need to grab 1 out of 3 in this. Gonna max that out. Put 1 into this. Max that out for the vulnerable damage. 1 into this. Max that out for more damage while unstoppable. This makes me unstoppable. While leveling, I might max this out. Kind of looking forward to playing Diablo Tuesday. I know I've been so hyped. Like I said, I think I'm more hyped than most people. Like, I know like PoE and Last Epoch and these other ARPGs are probably objectively better, but like, I'm just biased toward Diablo. Like, I love D4. This game is so good to me, anyway. Like, it just feels fun to play. Like, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I've always said, like, really Diablo's biggest problem is like, you kind of just run out of stuff to do fast. I have a sweet spot for it. Me too. Like, if we kind of had more to do, and the bosses are going to be, and the bosses in the rework the pit, even though they kind of walk back on the pit scaling a little bit, it's going to have a different feel. And for me, it's going to be a fun month or two of playing. And yeah, it seems like, I really think, I've said this before, I think what they're doing, and it's from a business standpoint, it is kind of smart. Like, even though this isn't what I want, like, they're reworking the bosses, then they're going to rework the nightmare dungeons, they're reworking the infernal hordes, and like they're kind of making like all the stuff in the game feel like in game, and then by then the expansion will come out, and they will probably sell us some in game with the expansion. That is my guess. Yeah, I've always said, like, if Diablo had more like in game, like true in game, it would be the best ARPG. And then, I mean, and balance as well. Balance has not been. Because, I mean, I know, like, PoE 2, like, once they get everything, like, they're gonna be, like, they'll have something to say about that. Like, we're the best ARPG. But I feel like the thing that makes Diablo, like, that gives them the edge over PoE is how accessible it is to everybody. Like, if you're just like a casual that wants like to play a bunch of different games, hop on a little bit, and like you really don't you don't need a guide for Diablo. Like, you could just wing it and kind of figure it out. It's that easy. You open that passive tree on PoE, and if you're a casual player, you're like, what? And I personally haven't played Last Epoch, so I can't really comment on it. But from what I've seen, like, Last Epoch looks great. Skill tree is supposedly getting reworked in D4. I would like more choices than just like this little twig, but I hope they don't overdo it. I do like the simplicity of it. I mean, maybe like, even if we just get, for each skill, give us a third node or something like, I just don't want them to like, we're going to make this like PoE's tree. Like, I don't want them to go that far. But yeah, I feel like if every skill had a third branch, that would do so much. Because then you would literally have an extra choice for every skill. I don't know what they have planned. We'll have to see. Okay, there's not a hill tied up right now, so I guess this is a good time to test this dungeon. Let's see what the XP looks like. Yeah, I'm not practicing leveling fast right now, by the way. I'm kind of just like messing around with stuff. Kind of just seeing what I want to use to level. Kind of getting a plan together. I'm not even going to hit max level on this stream. Like, I'm just testing stuff out, getting an idea. And then I'll finish filling it out after the stream. And I kind of just wanted to wake up and stream, and I was like, what do I stream? And I did see some other streamers and stuff that were already like putting together builds in D4 and like doing leveling practice, and I was like, you know what, that's a good idea. I think I'm gonna do that as well. Elite pack. Make them all vulnerable and smash. The crushing hand is not bad for leveling. The way it just like slap them elite. I am on the easiest difficulty though too. That is something to keep in mind. But just the AoE on crushing hand is like great. And there is an aspect that I like using while leveling. I don't really use it in in-game because there's just better, higher damage scaling options. But while leveling, there's this one where if you do 3 consecutive hits of crushing hand, like this shockwave that it does will hit an additional 10 times. And that is like really good while leveling. I mean, I guess for speed, like pure speed farming and in-game, it wouldn't be bad. Let's just pull like, just treat this like we're doing like a run or something. I need to save my dodge to evade through things. Yep, don't get the prisoners because you only do the first half. Imagine I get a butcher right here. That'd be funny. Wait, so does this reset my evade? Oh, it does. You see how fast my evade's resetting? Oh yeah, that's part of the reason why the evade build is so good with this basic. But like when you get the eagle thing, where it does the storm feathers and stuff, I do want to play evade. Evade is just such a good build. It's fun, and it's like really good for speed farming. And I think with my main goal this season, hitting Paragon 300, I need something fast. I think I'm still going to start Crushing Hand, because Crushing Hand is great for speed farming as well. Especially if you put the teleport rune on. You need the Earthen Bulwark rune, so that's like, for almost all Spiritborn builds, you pretty much need the Earthen Bulwark rune because you get barrier and you can scale damage off your amount of barrier. So like, that's one, that's staple for all builds, they want the Earthen Bulwark rune. But then you kind of have options, like if you're pit pushing, maybe like the Warcry rune. But if you're just trying to speed, like the teleport rune is so good. Give me a level. It's not the worst. I'm interested to see how the new, I forgot what they call it, but the new zone, like for the season, how it's going to be for leveling. Yeah, I think in my planner, the only aspect I'm gonna put on is in the planner, I'm gonna put an aspect on the amulet, and it's gonna be that crushing hand one, where every third consecutive hit of crushing hand will do 10 additional shockwaves. I think if you slap that power on, that's gonna be about all you need for leveling, to be honest. Because you just change gears so much while leveling, and you're not gonna have a bunch of resources at a season start to constantly be like putting full aspects on all your gear and stuff, so I think one will get you by. I'm so used to PoE, I forget you can mount in D4. Like, I move so fast. We're in PoE, you just gotta walk everywhere. Unless you play the Huntress, and then you get the, I forget what they call it, but you get like the little bird-looking mount that you can ride on as a skill. Like, Huntress is just, they get so much more than everybody else. Like, Huntress and PoE, they get like a mount, like as a skill they can ride on. You get tame beasts, so you can like tame up to 2 pets, like just 2 monsters. And each of the monsters, like, they do different things and stuff. It's like, why doesn't nobody else get nice things? I mean, technically anybody could just use those Huntress skills. And I think for the tame beast, you don't even have to be holding a spear. Like, you can just, like, I don't know, you could be on a mercenary or a monk and use your, like, weapon you want and then still grab tame beast and just have a pet. I'm pretty sure it's the same way. I don't know, it might be, but with that little mount thing that the Huntress gets. I mean, I don't know though, because with the Huntress, you can throw your spear while on that mount, so that might be a spear ability. One thing I don't like what they did when they done like some of the changes where they walked back to difficulty and like made the pit easier, made the leveling faster. Like, I guess most of that's fine. The one thing I do not like they did in the PTR, your boss power would skill all the way up with Paragon level up to Paragon 300. And I was like, okay, that's a good reason to want to push Paragon 300. When they did a lot of these changes, they made it where the scaling of the boss power caps at Paragon 200. So that's actually another slot nerf to the boss powers. And it kind of is like, well, you have no reason to really push Paragon 300 unless that's just something you really want to do. So I do not like that change, if I'm just being objective. Even though I tend to defend Diablo a lot of times. That's bad change in my opinion. Yeah, the vulnerable is going to be okay. I just have to remember to evade their stuff. And once I get at level 15, I get my first spirit haul, my primary spirit haul, I'll grab the eagle thing, where when I evade it spits out the storm feathers. Another thing, I'm so used to PoE where the leveling is not that fast. And it's like leveling is just so much like smoother. Like I'm not even really trying to level, I'm just really messing around with the skill tree more than anything. Like if you really try to level, you can get leveled really quick. More damage to vulnerable. And I'm in the lowest difficulty, so the XP is lower than if you were pushing a higher difficulty. Yeah, because it's gonna feel closer to last season than PTR, the leveling speed, but I feel like it's still gonna be a little bit slower, even though they walk back, yeah, a lot of changes. And this leveling build's gonna get a lot better Tuesday when I have access to boss powers. Yeah, somewhere in the middle. That's what I'm thinking too. I'm not sure if I'll have to... I definitely will work Tuesday. If anything, I may try to see about taking off Wednesday. So, because if I don't want to take off Tuesday because it doesn't come out till like 1, so like I'm sitting there like half a day, like not grinding Diablo, so it's like I might wait till Wednesday so I have like 1 full day as soon as it launches just to blast it. And then obviously the weekend after that. I mean each day after work too as well. So I definitely won't be like one of those people that get to end game and start pushing end game super fast. Like, got other like stuff I have to do. But I will be blasting it as much as I can. I'm just hoping that I don't end up getting nerfed. That Ashava power seems kind of strong. It was already like Spiritborn's best power in the PTR, and they reworked it and they tripled its damage. Where they nerfed almost every other boss power, and it's like, what? It probably, depending on what it does, especially with Spiritborn, it probably should get tuned down. Because I don't think Spiritborn should get nerfed. I think they didn't really buff it, and it was like arguably the worst class last season. So I don't think Spiritborn as a class is the problem. I think if anything, that boss power will be the problem. And Spiritborn just happens to have a way to scale it to the moon. So yeah, the Ashava power, there's a good chance within the first 2 weeks that will get nerfed. But maybe not, because they did say if something is just crazy overperforming, they want to nerf it in the first couple of weeks because they're not doing mid-season like buffs and nerfs really anymore. Then after the first 2 weeks or so, they're probably just going to leave stuff alone until the next season. Just glad the difficulty scaled down. I don't know, I didn't play PTR, so I like the idea of Diablo being hard. But I did hear them say something about with the bosses. They want less one-shots with the bosses, and they want like more like mechanical like fights and stuff. and less just random one-shots, hard visuals to see and stuff. Is one thing I heard. And I do like the sound of that, because I don't like in video games where boss is just one shot. Like that, to me, that is artificial difficulty. And that is just like more frustrating than it is like a fun challenge. I was a long time World of Warcraft player, and I swear World of Warcraft was like the world's worst about that. Like, watch out for this one-shot mechanic of this boss, and this one-shot mechanic of this boss, and the floor is blue, but there's this blue circle on the blue ground that you have to look out for, but you can't see because the ground is blue, and it's like, oh my god. I really just want to get to the point where I can unlock the ultimate, try that out. Because I know a lot of the key passes I'm going to do. I hate one-shot mechanics. Yeah, it's just the worst. Unless they are super telegraphed. Like, a good example is like an Elden Ring. Like a boss does like a giant wind up. Say a boss has a giant hammer, and the boss winds up the hammer all the way back and pauses for a minute. Chances are, if that hits you, that's going to one-shot you. But, like, it's so easy to see that. Like, very telegraphed one-shots are okay. But, like, if they're not super telegraphed like that, they're just bad, generally. Yeah, I just like a happy medium in my boss fights. Like, if you can sit there and tank every mechanic of a boss and just, like, damage it down and just be a damage fun, that's not fun. But if the boss just one-shots you constantly out of nowhere, that's not fun. I feel like in, like, any game, they just gotta find the happy medium somewhere. And I think Elden Ring does it good. Probably, like, a lot of Dark Souls bosses do it the best, like, where some mechanics will one-shot you, but most of the time it will just chunk your health. So like, you do get punished for not dodging, but you also don't insta-die unless you like start scaling up to like new game like 7 and whatever. But like, generally it punishes you, but it doesn't kill you. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's one thing I seen also. This conduit is getting removed. No more conduit. And I am so glad. Conduit is the most worthless shrine in Diablo 4. Shouldn't even be in the game. It just nerfs almost every build. I need to start opening some of these chests. My threat meter is almost full, I think. Or is it going down? No, it's not going down. Let's say if it's going down, that means the boss or whatever is about to spawn. I wonder how the new zone's gonna feel for leveling. I seen they made changes to like the new zone too, like made it like actually good to run, where before on PTR it wasn't that good to run. I said I didn't play PTR, but kind of the way I've heard it explained was almost like a boss rush type area. Yeah, I gotta get comfortable playing this leveling build. I probably won't be able to play Tuesday until that evening. So my whole goal Tuesday will be trying to push level 60. Yeah, it's not going to be as good as Headhunt for like gear and leveling, but it's at least going to have a purpose, I think. I just wonder if the new zone is going to be better than Hilltide for XP. I don't know. I feel like Hilltide might be the best. Yeah, getting the ashes for leveling the boss powers. And I heard they're going to be adding more bounties to that area too, so like more tree turn-ins. Oh, you don't think it's going to be better than Hilltide? Yeah, it'd be hard to. Yeah, I think Quill Volley would be better for leveling. I just really do not want to play Quill Volley. And the reason I think Quill Volley is just going to be better is like it's like Bone Spear. Like it just pushes out like more damage numbers at a time. Crushing Hand is Pulverize, and this is like Landslide or something like that. Yeah, the two builds that feel the closest to Crushing Hand in the game, outside of Crushing Hand, was Hammer of the Ancients and Pulverize. Like, I swear, Crushing Hand, Hammer of the Ancients, Pulverize, they all kind of feel the same. Now, they have different things within their classes that make them feel different, but like just the raw skill of them three on their own feels the exact same, I swear. They all have shockwaves. It's all like a physical bonk-like ability. Just like Barb can turn theirs into earthquakes, and Druid can make theirs like an earth ability and do like the little earth spikes. And now this season, Spiritborn's going to be able to make theirs poison. And every third consecutive hit, if you get that one aspect, you can do 10 additional shockwaves. Like, 10 additional, it hits it 10 additional times. Like, say if you go boom, 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 then it would like do 10 more shockwaves. I really need to open some of these chests. Where's the chest at? Oh, I guess there's not certain chests. They're all mystery chests. Okay, I was looking for like a certain one. Yep, I'm out of it when it comes to D4. I gotta get back in the groove of it, remembering everything. And part of the reason I also like D4, I mean, this is probably just because I have like 5,000 hours in D4, literally. I feel like I'm better at making builds in D4 than like PoE or any other ARPG. I feel like I can really put together a build in D4, and it can be like a very top tier build, like without even using a god. And if I make a build in PoE, it's probably going to be solid, viable, but it's not going to be anywhere close to meta. I feel like I can pretty much make a meta build. Or at least take a skill that isn't meta and push it to its absolute limit of power, like this by theory crafting. Yeah, this knockdown is so good while leveling. This constant crowd control. So I'm guessing in D4, there's no diminishing returns on crowd control, kind of like PoE or WoW. Yeah, because he's just constantly getting knocked down when he gets hit by those shockwaves. My boss damage is pretty low right now, but I am missing some things. Damage will scale up better. And Quill Volley, like I said, Quill Volley would just be just better, like flat out better than this, but don't play Quill. The only way I'm going to play Quill is say if the poison powers don't get nerfed and I get to a point where I want to pit push. But I mean, if I can make my own Crushing Hand build and farm pit 100 and finish out my glyphs, I don't know, like, if I can farm 100 pretty quick with the Crushing Hand build, like, why play Quill? And like gear is such a big like part of it. Like, say if you grind one build enough, or you can get all perfect stat gear of 2 greater affixes, maybe even get a couple 3 GA pieces, that's going to give you additional pit tier power, opposed to a build that doesn't have all 2 or 3 GAs. I think the only Ubers I'm going to use on a Crushing Hand build are the Shroud of False Death, because the +1 rank to all passives is just too strong to pass up. And then I'm going to pick up the Starless Ring. I was looking at the hair, or whatever, that helm that gives you 60% multiplicative, but there is another unique called Harmony of Ibiwaka, and that gives you, say, 30% increased damage for each spirit type you use. And, like, say, I think my primary, when I was 3 crafting, I was going to do Centipede, because it's going to be damage reduction and additional poison on a hit. Then I was going to do Jaguar as my secondary to get ferocity stacks. And my main skill is Crushing Hands, so that's Gorilla. So there's 3 Spirit Halls right there, 30% for each. That's 90% increased damage versus the 60. What's it? Hair would be a 0.6 multiplier or something like that, and Harmony of Ibiwaka would be a 0.9. Either way, Ibiwaka is just going to be more damage. So I was like, okay, so I do not need a Uber Helm. Or Mythic, I guess you'd call it now. I feel like Uber is going to be hard to get, and getting geared is going to be harder. Yeah, I kind of feel like that too. But I have like, I think I'm also going to, because I'm going to make some guides, I guess. I'm just going to put, because there's a community builds section on max roll. And I think I'm just going to push out like some guides on that. And I'm going to do a leveling variant for Crushing Hand. I'm going to do an in-game variant. And on the in-game one, I'm going to do 2 different loadout sets. One with no Ubers, one with Ubers. And then when I make my way around to the evade build, I'll make a guide for evade as well. With the new Sun Gorger's amulet. Wouldn't that be something, like if I got, like, if I started making a lot of builds on max roll, that they actually got me to, like, do, like, a written guide or something, like, for their official builds? Because I think right now, the main one, or that there's two main people that do written guides for Spiritborn. It's Woody Joe, and I think it's the Necromancer player, Chronix. And Woody Joe is a rogue main, and Chronix is a Necromancer main. So there's not actually a Spiritborn main writing guides. And you know me, like I played 7 Spiritborns last season, 9 in the game. I play more Spiritborn than about anybody. Like, and I've tested other people's builds a lot. I've made my own builds a lot. Like, I've gotten like Spiritborn down to a science almost. Time to do the work. If I had a way to apply vulnerable, I would even just... Oh, I could use the accursed touch aspect to get vulnerable. No, because I can go... Never mind. I was going to say, part of me wanted to use this Thrash because it gives you a built-in dash. Whenever you do your 3rd hit, it will do a bunch of rapid hits, so it's just going to be more damage than that. And this will give me stacks of ferocity. But with this will give me built-in vulnerable, and with the primary... Hold on, let me kill these. Oh, shit, I'm talking about. Wish stuff would stop spawning. Yep, for the Spirit Hall, for leveling, I'm going to do this. So when I evade, it gives me Storm Feathers. And it also gives me more vulnerable. Like... Hold on. Like, you see that? This is why I went this basic. It makes leveling so much better. You just hold down the basic, and it constantly resets your evade. Like, this is pretty much how the evade build works right here. So I'm like a hybrid of Crushing Hand evade build right now, just while leveling. Because it's hard to level full evade. I guess not. Like, I am dumpstering stuff. Like, you see how fast this is? Well, this is making me want to play evade. No, I'm starting Crushing Hand. Because I can get the Ashava power fast. Definitely gonna play evade this season though. And evade might end up being the main build I play. I was looking at Rob. He was theory crafting builds, and he was making him an evade build, and he was using, what's that new boss that's from the campaign, the Uravar? He was using like the bombs or whatever that like would give you more damage. But if I make an evade build, I kind of want to use the Duriel power. It might not be quite as much damage as what Rob was doing, but every time you evade, you burrow underground like a mole or something, and you become immune. So you're just like, you see how fast you can evade? Like, and the immune lasts for 4 seconds. You're evading more than once every 4 seconds. So it's like you're permanently immune. I feel like the evade build for Spiritborn this season with the Duriel power would actually be the best build for hardcore, because you straight up just won't take damage. Yeah, but I think the cooldown of it was, I was looking, I think it's only like 2 or 3 seconds. Like, it's not very, yeah, like I said, it does have a cooldown, but if I'm not mistaken, the cooldown is only like 2 or 3 seconds. So that's still like 80-90% uptime of your immune. Like, it's kind of gross. I was like, oh, why is this a thing? I mean, it's cool though. Like, it reminds me of like the Bulwark build that Druid used to have in the early seasons, or like what was that one? It was like the Necromancer had, like with their ability, with their immune, the Blood Mist, like the Blood Mist builds where they're just constantly immune. Yeah, because it's an uber power, has to be OP. But do you remember I'm talking about, like the Blood Mist, or I think they made it Shadow Mist, like for Necromancer in the earlier seasons, where they just were constantly like immune with their defensive. Like, I feel like that's how the evade's gonna be, but faster. Probably do more damage as well. Because now you would get this power where it does like when you evade, it will follow behind you and do like a line of like lightning strikes down, or storm strikes down, or whatever you call it. And then it will leave storm feathers. And when you pick up the storm feathers, the new unique amulet, the Sun Gorgers, will make a fire circle around you doing big AoE. And one thing you could do with this build, you could get the boots that turns your evade into a soar, and then pretty much just be soaring constantly. Yeah, Blood Mist build were OP back in the day. I actually feel like that's how evade's gonna feel, like an even better version of Blood Mist. Like, Crushing Hand is like normally my favorite build for Spiritborn, but I think the one I'm most excited to play this season is the evade build. That's why I kind of just want to farm out the Crushing Hand and the evade and have 2 loadouts I can swap between. And who knows, I might just play evade. I don't know. It depends, I guess. It depends how fast I can kill Duriel. I guess if I can get the Torment 1 pretty quick and get pretty strong in Torment 1, you can actually go fight Duriel for free. So, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't think you actually gotta open his chest to get the boss power. You just have to beat Duriel. So, you can get the Torment 1 and you can get strong enough to beat Duriel, then you can get the Duriel power pretty quick. Because I'm not even using Crushing Hand anymore. Like, I'm full on, like, this would be a leveling evade build. No, I'm glad I'm testing this, because I know I'm writing this guide for Crushing Hand, but I might change what I'm doing and test more off stream and stuff and do a evade Spiritborn leveling guide. I mean, you'd have to do something until level, I don't know, actually, you'd probably be, honestly, you'd probably be best off doing this right here. For leveling, going Thrash and going Quill Volley. And kind of the other skills I was already using, like Soar, Ravager, this for the crit, probably Hunter. I'm not respecting. I don't feel like doing that right now. I feel like the best way to level, like for like if you want to level as an evade build, I mean the best leveling build is probably Quill, but like you probably run Quill until you hit level 15, and as soon as you hit level 15, go into like a full evade with this Eagle basic. Yeah, I really want to play evade. And yeah, like I said, my main goal is farming Paragon 300. Evade is going to be the fastest build for that. Outside of maybe that build, I don't know if you remember, I played a build last season. It was like Rushing Claw and the Toxic Skin. That build was so fast as well too. And they are buffing Rushing Claw as well, so that might be a thing. Wait, you just dropped a crossbow? What if this was like? What if you could use crossbows like in PoE? That'd be cool. I need to work on my PoE character a little bit more. I made it to the Black Chambers last night in Cruel Act 3, so like I am at the end of the campaign. The only thing, I have not found my third trial yet, and I'm just like, I'm starting to be like, did I miss it? Like, I swear every like key I've gotten, like for the Chaos Temple or the Trial of the Sekima or whatever it's called, they have all said does not grant additional points. So I'm really wondering why I have not got my thing for my third ascendancy yet. Didn't miss it, you're fine. And I've like kind of already respec'd into an in-game build. Like I'm using Ice Strike with that charge staff thing, but then I'm also using Falling Thunder for like that thing like where it's like on the first roll of skills for monks. I don't know if you tried it whenever you've done a little bit of monk for hardcore. Like where you have power charges, you do the ground slam, and the more power charges you have, the more like of like a clear it has. Oh, you don't even have your third ascendancy yet? I have been getting, like, in Cruel Act 3, I was noticing a lot of Waystones started dropping, so I started saving Waystones. I don't know if I should be doing that. You know, actually, I think this is enough Diablo testing. I think I'm going to end my stream real quick and then swap over to PoE. So I will be right back on a different stream. Well, I think it will automatically end it. Or no, I think I need to end it so I can change my title.